Hi there. Looking for a few ideas on how to customize your project using the new Craft Your Life project kit, bold and beautiful. See you in a bit. Hi there, and welcome to a new episode of Inspired by a Card with Nathalie. Today we're going to be working with the new Craft Your Life project kit, bold and beautiful. I love the stamp set. The stencil is going to help you color the beautiful embossing folder. But what I love is the fact that you have a die that creates the shapes but separately. So you have different and more ideas to create different looks with your card. So what I'm going to use today is actually two cards. One is by Nathalie, and the other one's going to be by Carol Hentermeyer. And I love the looks of this. And I thought it was a great idea to give me three different ideas on how to use this set in one single layer. So I am going to get started by creating my background. For this, I am using black obsidian ink. I'm going to help myself with the stamp wheel too, because I want to create an extended background for the photo side of my layer. I'm creating a 6x8 layout for my page. That means that my area of stamping is bigger than a regular card. So what I'm doing with the stamp wheel is I'm creating a partial impression just of the stamp set. And you're going to see that I have the ink already on the background that's going to help me line up my paper. So I'm going to make sure that the images meet in the middle. And I just have like clean edges on the top and right of the page. I'm okay with that. My paper is around 5.5 inches wide by 8.5 in height. So once I have my large area ready, I'm gonna take my paper and I'm gonna stamp the image twice. One is gonna be a full image because I want to take advantage of it to create a different idea, like I said, and another one just a partial because I am going to use the stamp as kind of my anchor for these three different ideas that are going to create this cohesive look in my page. So once I have that, I went ahead in my large area. I created my binding holes on the left hand side of the page. And then what I'm doing is I'm carefully going to detail the right and the left edge of this page. I want to create kind of a soft detailed look of the stamping, and that means that I want to take away the blocking look that it created on the paper. So I'm just carefully taking away anything that is non-stamped on the right and the left hand side of the paper. I didn't go into a lot of detail. I just wanted to create that soft look on the left hand side of the paper. So once I have that, I am actually going to bring in my pictures because my pictures are going to sit in this paper. And I'm going to pick up the colors from the outfit that my daughter is wearing. She's wearing a lot of pink and fuchsia, and there's a little hint of purple. So I'm going to use that to kind of guide the entire page together. But one of the things that I wanted to do is I wanted to encase my pictures just because it's going to give me some aid, or it's going to help me with adding some embellishments. So for that, I'm going to take advantage of some vellum to create pockets for my pictures. I am using my scoring board to create my pockets. So I have a 3.5 inch wide piece of paper. I'm going to score it around around half an inch from the right and left and a half an inch from the bottom. I'm going to use my bone folder to just score the edges and fold them in towards the inside of the paper. I'm going to cut little triangles just to take away some of the excess of where the paper folds. Once I have that, I am going to create my second pocket. I'm going to use sticky double-sided tape to help me secure the pockets onto my page. You're going to see that I am not going to attach my pockets in a vertical line. Instead, I'm choosing off a soft diagonal just because I want to kind of get away from the blocky look that I can create with my page. So that's one of the reasons why I soften the edges by trimming the excess. And also I'm going to put my pictures a little bit off the straight line. So once I have that, I need to bring the colors that I kind of dimmed within the vellum. So for that, I'm going to use the die set that comes in the Craft Your Life project kit, Bold and Beautiful, to create florals. I'm using Puffy Heart, Purple Wine, and soft lilac to cut my floral, and reindeer moss to cut my leaves. Sorry about that. But I wanted to keep the centers of the florals. So what I'm going to do is add a little bit of Cosmic Berry using my ink blending brush. You're gonna see that I put my florals on top of my sticky mat, and I'm just gonna add color to the center. You're gonna see that it's gonna look like a circle, and I'm okay with that because I want that emphasis of color. As I put my pictures inside pockets, I kind of dim the color that the background, like, that my niece, well, it's not my niece, had in her clothing. So I need to create that contrast again, that pop of color, and I'm going to do that with the ink. And that means that I'm okay if I create a circle because it brings a lot of impact. So what I'm going to do is create clusters with these flowers. I cut the larger flower with purple wine. I cut the medium flower from Puffy Heart and the small one from Soft Lilac. So I'm going to use a combination of the three sizes to create my cluster. I'm going to create one on the bottom left corner of the top picture, and I'm going to create another cluster on the bottom right corner of the bottom picture. So it kind of follows the diagonal line that I was talking about. And you're going to see that I'm just adding one large flower, one medium flower, two little purple flowers because they're like really soft lilac, and then I'm gonna add leaves just to help me bulk up the cluster. I am not gonna glue them with foam adhesive. I'm just gonna keep them just glued straight to the page because it's not about adding bulk. I just want to add that pop of color, and I don't want to add a lot of dimension because I'm adding layers. There's already the paper, I have the pockets, and I have all these flowers. As it is already, it's gonna add a lot of bulk in a way to my page, so I don't want to add more by adding foam adhesive. But once I'm happy with what my cluster looks like, I'm going to set it off camera and then just glue it straight onto the page. Now once the glue dry, I set it aside, and then I'm still gonna working on the left hand side of the page where my title and my journal is gonna sit. So the full panel that I created, I trimmed it in around, it's hard to tell because it's not even half or a third. It's like somewhere in between. So I'm going to say ish. But once again, I'm going to go ahead and detail. This time I'm going to detail the entire edge of my stamping. I want to have kind of that lace look going on. What I did next is I glued the little piece that I cut to the back of the one that I stamped on black and white, and I'm going to color this part. I am using the same color inks that I use in the cardstock where I cut the florals. So I'm using purple wine, I'm using Cosmic Berry, and I'm gonna use Puffy Heart to color my flowers. I'm just using the stencil and following the order just to bring the colors onto my florals and the leaves. And I am using tones of Mossy Meadows, Green Opal, and Pistachio, which are from the J Dreams collection. This is from the Fresh Dye ink sets to just color my leaves. Once I have that, and you don't see in the camera because by mistake I actually forgot that the battery had died in the camera, is that little piece that I glued to the back, I'm going to score it and I'm going to fold it on top of the black and white part. So it's going to create this layer look, and it's actually going to, it literally looks like layer florals. And by having that straight line and that bottom looking kind of wispy of the florals, it helps me to create a pocket for my journaling, and it brings a different look using the same kit in a cohesive way to my layout. So you're going to see right now, I'm just going to go ahead and create my pocket. I am going to make sure that the bottom stays kind of wispy. And what I mean by that is that it has that soft edge of the fussy cutting. I don't want a boxy look for my card, for my layout in this case. And once I'm ready with that, I'm going to create my journaling. For that, I want to give you a third idea on how you can use this kit. And you have tons of ideas, but this is just going to focus on the stamps and the stencils on the die. Remember that little piece that I stamped with the obsidian ink and just like was a partial die cut? Once again, I'm fussy cutting the bottom not the bottom, but fussy cutting the extra area at the bottom of the stamping because I want to create a wispy look of the leaves. And I'm going to glue this to the top of the cardstock where I'm going to add my journaling. I made sure that my cardstock was actually pink so that the detail that I created on the black and white stamping showcases a little bit better here. And then the leftover piece, from the stripe that I created, I'm going to do it at the bottom of my journaling just to kind of encase my journaling on the card. And I'm going to attach this, not attach actually, I'm going to insert it in the pocket that I created with the folded edge from the stamping. Once I have that, I'm pretty much set. I added some stickers just to bring the three, different clusters together. I'm going to create a title for this. For that, I am using the Sweet Sentiment die set, and I use white cardstock and jet black cardstock to create the title, and it's going to sit right on the top left corner of the folded area that I created for my journaling. Once I have that, I'm pretty much done. I love how this turned out. Simple background. The key is, by simple, I mean it's just black and white, but I'm adding detail by cutting all the extra paper after or outside of the stamping. And this is going to create a soft, wispy look to it. And then I'm using just pops of color, one with the die set and the cardstock, and another one with the stencil and the inks to bring, different looks that are cohesive in one single layer. And I hope you enjoyed this and it gives you an idea for your projects. You can find more details of this in today's blog. And as always, don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more beautiful content. See you soon, guys.
Hello there. Did that video just spark your creativity? And do you want more project ideas and inspiration videos too? Well, if you do, please make sure that you subscribe to the Altenew YouTube channel. Also, make sure that you do click that notification bell so you don't miss a video. Thanks so much for watching. Bye-bye.